It's time for the Ravagers to rise once again to glory!
You are listening to The Ravager Report, a Fox Next Marvel Strike Force podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news, information, and updates. With your hosts, Dorian.
It is a name what strikes fear into the hearts of anyone what hears it!
And Hebrew Hammer.
I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Hello and welcome to episode 30 of The Ravager Report. I am your host, Dorian, and with me as always is Hebrew Hammer. Hebrew, how you doing today, buddy?
I'm pretty good. I'm honestly really surprised that you didn't follow that up with something related to sparkling water.
I thought about it. It is your non-alcoholic champagne. So the poor college kid is drinking Pellegrino sparkling water. So, guys, thank you for joining us. We are recording a couple of days late because of my work. So I had to take care of some debug issues because, unlike Strike Force, I do work over the weekends.
More like, unlike Strike Force, you work.
Unlike Strike Force, I work to fix my bugs. That's not fair. Okay, they did release the Android update on a Saturday, right? And it rolled out over 100 days for a Sunday. So 100 days. It rolled out 100% on a Sunday. So
I feel like an Apple jab is coming.
Apple is coming, but Apple doesn't work on the weekends because Apple. So I don't think it's fair to say that they don't work on their bugs. They do, and they got it out in a relatively. I mean, the update was Thursday. Saturday they had a fix. So, at least for Android, because apparently Google doesn't care about quality control. So I gotta text my wife because the dog's barking behind me, and that's just not gonna function. I don't know if you all can hear it or not.
I can hear it a bit. Yeah.
Can you hear it a bit? So. I don't think it's fair to say Marvel Strike Force doesn't work. I think that it's not. I'm more concerned about the fact that these updates come out with these huge problems.
Yeah, I mean it's bad that it's so consistent. Like, we know that whenever a new patch comes out, there's going to be a big problem, or problems like what we have right now.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of a big problem. So. And I apologize to everyone. I have texted my wife to go get the dog. She's in her cage. And she's not happy, so she's letting everybody know.
Train your dogs? Are your dogs crate trained?
Oh yeah. But she's kind of a high maintenance diva. So she's a 60-pound Plotz hound.
Oh really?
Yeah, mixed with like pit bull and stuff. And it's, she's insane. She's like 5 years old, 5.5, but she acts like she's 2.
Oh,
so,
yeah. That's why I love big dogs, though. They always just act like they're little puppies. Like, the Great Dane that my parents have, like, I love that thing to death. He's 4 years old now, and he acts like he's barely a year. It's great.
Yes. Big dogs, so we were talking to a vet, and big dogs age slower. Like, they stay puppy longer. Because we've got a black lab mix, who's also like in that 55, 60 pound range. And he's the same way. I mean, he's 4 years old. We got him after we moved to Tennessee. And he's just a big puppy. So
yeah, it's weird that it seems to be quite consistent with that when it comes to big dogs, minus a few breeds in particular, but
right.
It
I
does
think
seem
it's because
like
the oxygen doesn't get to their brains as much.
So we're actually just mistaking puppy-like for retardation.
It is entirely possible. It is entirely possible. So, before we get into the show, why don't you let everybody know what you did this past week?
So, first of all, I saw Endgame twice, and it was amazing. I had so much fun with that. Go see it. For sure, go see it. And cool thing, it wasn't my idea originally, but if anyone remembers Irish from the old PowerCore podcast that he and I used to do, he wanted to make a movie review podcast, and so I came on with him, and we decided to do that, and we just did our first one over Endgame. It's pretty funny. You get to see us geek out about it, so it's pretty cool. It's called Click or Skip. So if anyone, sorry, people are posting pictures of Pellegrino.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to insist, if this continues, that you shut down chat.
That's true. We should get a sponsorship from Pellegrino. When I drink and podcast at the same time, there's only one drink that I drink: Pellegrino.
Okay, hey, before we continue, I want to let everybody know this is a spoiler-free zone. Please don't mention anything about the movie. We will not, other than we liked it, we didn't like it, things like that. Don't give out any hints. Don't even joke around about spoilers. So,
I was just about to joke around about a spoiler.
Yeah, let's not do that. Because people will take that stuff seriously, and if anything even remotely like it happens, that would be very, very bad.
Yeah. So, well, all right. So just to finish up what I was saying, new podcast is called Click or Skip. We just submitted it into iTunes, so it should be there. If not, you can find it on Podbean. That's where it is right now. Probably within the next few days, it'll be on Spotify and iTunes. But very cool, very fun. We have a really good time with it. And then I've also been getting into AFK Arena. It's a new game. Both Dorian and myself have been doing it. We're having a lot of fun with it. We also need people in our new guild that we just made.
Yep.
Just to let you guys know, it's also like incredibly popular. It already has, I guess by now, probably around 30,000 subs on its Reddit, and it's only been out just over 2 weeks. So it's incredibly popular, a lot of fun, and it is not a time suck whatsoever. So come join us. And I've dipped my toe in the water and made a few YouTube videos on stuff with that, like kind of beginner stuff. I'm going to be putting out a new one later on today. And yeah, just good stuff, good fun. And Dorian, myself, and Muggin all really enjoy it. So
yeah, we really do.
That's it for me.
Hold on, give me 1 second here. I did share the Discord link for our guild in the studio audience.
Oh yeah, good call.
Well, Cyber Shark said that he just started playing yesterday and wanted to know how to join the guild. So we are the Rainbow Unicorn Death Squad.
Such a great name.
It is a great name. That all credit goes to Muggin for that one. I guess that was his paintball team. Yeah. So, yeah. If you are, I'm probably going to create a Discord.me at this point.
Yeah.
So, but AFK Arena, like Hebrew said, I've got into it as well. We would have talked about it last week. Obviously, we missed for Easter weekend. And it's been an absolute blast. Surprisingly, even though it's called AFK Arena, I'm putting more time into it than MSF. More screen time.
I don't know
anyway.
How.
Because I keep replaying, right? I keep replaying because I'm actually further than you right now.
That game, though.
But you don't have to.
Yeah, you are.
Like, you can just walk away from the game for 10 hours.
Yeah,
and
that's the
you're
beautiful
perfectly
part
fine, right? You don't have to do what I do. I get bored, so I need something to do. Because I'm so tired of some of the stuff in Strike Force.
And you can keep it on auto, so even if you do want to sit there for like an hour and just see if RNG flies your way, you can keep it on auto the whole time, and eventually, look back at your screen, you might see a victory.
Yeah. Just keep replaying, because at some point RNG will work in your favor, because it's a very RNG game, very RNG. So there's that. The roses are doing beautifully, man. I'm hoping to have some buds by
Rose Watch 2019.
Rose Watch 2019. I'm hoping to have some buds maybe by June, July at the latest. Man, they are looking beautiful. One of them is already, I think it's the Midnight Girl, or the Blue Girl is starting to grow some really good thorns. So that's a bonus. Still trying to get rid of the carpenter bee. Have 100% confirmed it's a carpenter bee. So
still trying to get rid of that one bee. Just to be clear, it's just that one bee.
I think there's a second one now, but
they're multiple.
that bee is thankfully male carpenter bees do not sting. Mm-hmm. They're loud and they will dive bomb you.
Jesus.
They are big. So there's
I'm incredibly afraid of bugs, so that would freak me out. Crazy.
Yeah, the problem is that I've got a really big wooden deck, so I'm afraid that that the queen is put in a nest somewhere, because they're extremely territorial. I mean, look, it's cool. He kind of pushes away all the other bugs, but then he likes to dive bomb me every once in a while. So that's just not gonna work. So, yeah, finished working from home. We're in the new office, and it is absolutely gorgeous. I've got some pics I can share. I think I shared them with you, didn't I, Hebrew?
Yeah,
like the Nashville skyline and everything. It's absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's very nice.
I'm up on the 9th floor. I've got a corner office with 11 other people.
That's a great way of looking at it. I have a great corner office with 11 other people. It's fantastic.
But I get the window seat, right? So that's a bonus. I get one of the 4 window seats. So, yeah, okay. So I'm going to draw the line at spiders. Cyber, sorry, responding to some chat talk. I'm going to no. No. Spiders are my thing. My wife will tell you when we see a spider, I'm calling her to kill it.
Yeah, dude. I just mentioned in chat, I legit moved away from my last apartment complex because I found a big spider one time, and I will not do it again. Like, nope, I can't do bugs.
Nope,
can't do it. I'll throw my Pellegrino water bottle at it.
So then, unfortunately, we did have we had one of our largest releases Thursday at work. Unfortunately, we found some bugs, so I'd worked Friday night into Saturday morning, and finally had a release yesterday. And then went out and had a Pretty Woman moment yesterday. So went clothes shopping and bought a new work wardrobe.
I really wish that we would have a montage video of this, you coming out of the dressing room, doing a little twirl.
Oh, there were so many dressing room changes. Oh, so many different shirts. Anyway, okay, moving on. So yeah, that's been the week. Let's see. Oh, where are we at here?
Probably about time to talk about some MSF.
Yeah, Heber, did you want to talk about some data mines?
Oh yeah, all right. So I'll go ahead and mention some data mines that we found that I have temporarily misplaced, but it's no big deal because I'll cut them out. There we go. Okay. So basically, it looks like they are potentially, this is data mine, so take it with a grain of salt, but it looks like they might be trying to fix the red star orb issue a bit. And so we found some information for elite 4-star orbs and elite 4-star orb fragments, and that pretty much continues down all the way to elite 7-star orbs and elite 7-star fragments. And then there was also promotional credits that were found that would promote characters up to 5 red stars. And then same thing for promoting them up to 6 and 7 red stars. So specific characters. So you get to potentially choose what characters you want to upgrade, right to 5 red stars or 6 or 7. And you could potentially farm specific level of red star orbs for characters as well. So I guess they're trying to fix the whole issue where you're getting endless drops of the same things for 1 or 2 red stars, finally. That's pretty much it.
All right. Shut down AFK Arena then. All right. Well, let's talk about the poll, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So we are no longer accepting responses. We have 71 total responses. So the first question was, now this one didn't go as in depth on some things. I'm trying to think about how to work the polls maybe a little bit better. That didn't come out right at all. Anyway, so let's see. First question: what do you think of update 3.1? So I like it, I hate it, I don't have an opinion one way or the other. Hebrew, where are you at on that?
I would say I like it just because it brought in a bunch of new stuff, but there's also the obvious reasons why I don't like it, which is just more bugs that we have to deal with and issues like that. But we finally saw Cherie added into the game, and we saw Falcon come in. We saw, I guess this isn't really attached to that, but we saw some leaks of what's his name, Colossus, too. That's not really attached to this patch, but I just like to mention it. And yeah, so the Hulk rework too. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of fixes that they did, but it came with some bugs that makes me want to throw my phone against the wall. So
Yeah. First of all, I'm going to type a word into chat, and I want you to read that word for me. Are you ready?
Okay. Hold on a second. I have to go back over to chat. All right. Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now this one.
Sure.
Sure. E.
I still don't I guess I just don't hear the difference that I'm saying Cherie.
Yes.
Cherie. Cherie.
Yes. You're putting the emphasis on the last syllable.
Time. Yeah.
Right? And the emphasis goes on the middle. Cherie.
Cherie.
There. The emphasis goes on the middle, or on the, sure. It goes on the first, right?
Okay, I gotcha. Cherie.
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 Yes.
Cherie.
Okay.
I really I can't it gets I think I understand the difference, and then or I shouldn't say understand, but hear the difference, but then I don't. So it is whatever it is.
I need to go back.
No.
I need to go back and go back to the Strike Force days early on and just cut out Muggin doing Thanos and play it for the Thanos raids.
Yeah, I think so.
Thanos. I'm just going to say Thanos. That's my tribute to you, Muggin, if you're listening, buddy. Love you.
I feel like to be fair, Thanos is harder to Thanos versus Thanos. That is a little sillier than Shuri versus Shuri.
Shuri.
Yeah.
It's Shuri.
Shuri
versus
Shuri versus Shuri.
Shuri.
Yeah, this one's so close. Yeah.
I think you're intentionally messing up Shuri to make it sound more like Shuri.
I literally, I'm just saying it. I'm not trying to do anything except honestly say the name. I can't even really create the distinction between them very well, so I'm just saying it. And I get both versions eventually.
That's okay, because there are different words that people from different parts of the country say differently. Like
tomato, tomato.
Tomato. Crayons. People in the Northeast will say crowns.
Yeah,
versus
I say crayons.
So yeah, it could just be something like that. So, all right, let's see.
Surrey. Cybershock said some people call her Surrey. I should probably throw that one in my repertoire.
Let's see. I liked it personally for update 3.1. Sure, there were some bugs, but overall, I thought it introduced some good quality of life changes.
Yeah.
It did feel much quicker on my phone, which was really nice. But again, we did have another slew of update issues. But I would say overall it was pretty good. 29 people didn't have an opinion one way or the other. 25 people liked it and agreed with us, and then 17 people hated it. So next question was, have you seen Endgame? I know your response. We both were yes. 50 people said no. Only 21 people at the time had said yes.
When was it put out?
I started it. This Friday around Friday at noon.
Okay.
So the next one was, if you answered no, do you plan on seeing Endgame? Let's see here. So I tried something a little bit different this time. So we got 54 responses. Even though 50 people said no, we got 54 responses.
Oh, wow.
So 52 people said yes, they plan on seeing Endgame. Our two trolls are back. 2 people said no. Because all I got to do is, if you play MSF and you listen to an MSF podcast and you don't plan on seeing Endgame, it's a little weird. But okay.
You're doing it wrong.
I think you're doing it wrong. Yes.
Yeah.
So if you answered yes, what did you think of Endgame? So Hebrew, loved it, liked it, it was okay, didn't like it, or hated it.
Loved it.
I'm with you. There were a few cringy parts for me, but overall, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, there was like one or two issues that I had with it too, but yeah, overall, like it was so good that I easily forgave them. If you want to figure out what those issues were, go listen to the podcast. By the way,
yeah. By the way, I'm a little offended that you did a movie podcast and you didn't talk to me, knowing how much I love movies.
To be fair, it wasn't my idea.
That's fair. It was Irish. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
that's fine. So
he just wanted me to get on board with him and do it.
Fair enough. So we had 24 responses here because this was also an optional. The 24 responses, 19 people said they loved it. 3 only liked it. 1 person said it was okay, and 1 person said they hated it. So I'm a little disappointed we didn't get 2 hated it. Our trolls are losing a little. They're not coordinating well here. The next question: do you like the Hulk rework? Yes or no?
For me, since there's only yes or no, I would say yes.
Okay. Yeah. I've got issues with it, which we'll go over a little bit later. Yeah. Overall, yes, I like the fact he got a rework. Am I thrilled about the rework? No. But 52 people agreed and said yes. Only 19 said no. Next question. Do you think he got more of a buff or a nerf with his rework? So, the options were buff, nerf, or stayed roughly the same.
For me, I'm going with buff. Solid buff.
Okay. So I actually felt that he stayed roughly the same, for reasons that we'll talk about likely later. But 52 people agreed with you and said that he got a buff. 18 agreed with me and said that he stayed roughly the same, and 1 nerf.
Yeah.
My original was it was more of a nerf, but I have since changed my mind on that one.
Yeah.
So, do you like the War Machine update? Yes or no?
Yes, I do. I mean, it's only making him better, and I feel like he wasn't if you really optimized him and min-maxed him, like in that comp we were talking about a while ago, that's one thing. But other than that, he was very lackluster. I haven't really played with him since, so I'm not sure how much better it made him. But it's inevitably going to be better. So, it's overall good thing.
Yeah, I agree with that. Oh. Okay, that was a bad idea. I accidentally muted myself. Yeah, I have to agree with that. I agree, yes, on that. 59 people agreed with us. 12 people said no.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they felt it made it more powerful, or too powerful. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah.
Because I've learned really quickly, don't give open-ended questions on this forum. Because I'm gonna have to do that for a bit though, so that we can do a mean tweets.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. So, if you use War Machine in war, do you use him more on offense or defense? So your options were offense, defense, or I don't use him, don't have him unlocked.
Well, I suppose now I would probably be more inclined to put him on defense just because Falcon he's going to be in the power armor class, or he now has the power armor trait, and Falcon has a bonus to be on defense with power armor characters, if I remember correctly. So I'd be more inclined to use him there now, but he isn't leveled up very high for me at all, so I really don't have a specific preference right now.
Okay. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. Okay, there we go. I kept hearing dings from Discord, so I had to enable I didn't have streamer mode enabled.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. What you said? Where did you say you were going to use him again?
I would say I'd probably use him on defense.
Okay. Yeah, I actually use him on defense as well.
Oh, bonuses for offense?
Wait, what?
I thought it was for defense.
And I don't think it made a difference either way. I think the bonus was to his offense, but I don't think it mattered where you used him.
I'm solving this problem right now, people.
Updates. Yeah.
Oh, it was war offense. He was right. So I guess I changed that. I'm retconning it.
Yeah, no doubt, man.
And I'm making it war offense.
That tells you how much I look. I actually beefed up my war machine a bit, specifically for war.
Mm-hmm.
But I have been running him on defense because it's just such a nasty team.
Yeah.
But I'm probably gonna have to change that one myself now.
Just to be clear, the like offense, like war offense thing that we were talking about was specific to Falcon, but we were talking about that putting them in a team together with War Machine.
Oh,
because he gets a benefit with power armor characters, so you might want to keep them together. So
right, okay. So
I realize now that was
confused.
Probably confusing. Yeah, I realize now that was probably very confusing for anyone. So let me just start over again. I'm going to put him on offense, basically, because I would probably group him with Falcon, and Falcon would be going on offense as well. So by association, he would also be going on offense. The end.
Right. So, yeah, just to be clear, the change to War Machine gave him bonuses to his damage. It doesn't matter if you use him on offense or defense.
Yeah, I don't think that was ever in question, or maybe it was. I don't know.
Maybe that's where I'm confused, because I was talking specifically about his damage increase, not who he's partnered with yet.
Right. Yeah. Well, so either way, because that can be applied for either defense or offense. It's just war in general.
Yes.
So, yeah, for me, I would still be putting him on offense because I would be partnering him with Falcon most likely.
Yeah, if you have
a bonus on offense.
Yeah, if you have Falcon, then definitely I would agree with that. I don't have Falcon, so I'm going to keep him on defense.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I use him more. So I have I use him with Cap, Iron Man, Captain Marvel, and Vision on defense, because that team can, you get Vision gives the offense up, or the defense up to both War Machine and Iron Man, who automatically get deflect as well. Plus they also have death proof. So yeah, it's kind of an insane defensive team. It works really well.
Interesting.
So 29 out of 71 responses, 29 people said offense, 25 people said defense, and 17 people said they don't use him or have him unlocked.
Man, that was like right down the middle pretty much.
Yeah, it's pretty evenly split. So we saw something new happen this past week. We had a brand new game update, but something was kind of different about it. And it was the fact that there are content creators who are now being given advanced information, versus them having this big production, right? And so the next question was, how do you feel about longtime content creators for the game being given advanced information? So do you like it? You hate it? You don't care either way? Or you miss Jovenshire? How you doing?
Oh, God. My whole body cringed whenever you did that.
So, Hebrew, do you like it, hate it, you don't care, or do you miss the Joven?
First, I'll say, like, it'll be too soon if I ever see him again or hear him ever again. But, anyways, I would say that I think it's a good thing overall, because I think it's empowering content creators that have put in, work and effort to, basically advertise the game for free, as well as, do something for themselves, of course. But I think it's just a good partnership and something that should be fostered. So
yeah, I agree. There were 4 that put out the new character release coming, which we'll talk about a little bit later. We were unfortunately left off that list, but that's been rectified. But we did get the Hulk and War Machine rework, and we were able to post that. So I like it. Obviously, as a content creator, I'm a bit biased. I felt that this is what they should have been doing all along, and what we're seing here is Some things we'll get into a little bit later as well, but we're seeing some great community changes in the game, and I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I will say this new CM, it does feel different whenever it comes to communication.
Yes.
Since he's been put in place, so that is a big plus for him in my book.
Yep. So out of the 71 responses, 45 like it. 5 people hate it. So our troll crowd is growing. 19 people said they don't care either way. And nope, here's our trolls. The 2 people who miss Jovenshire. How you doing?
Oh, God. You're so good at it that it's terrible. I hate it.
I've practiced just for you.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
Let's see. So here's the next one. Would you prefer information come from FoxNext or from Datamines? So your options were FoxNext, Datamines, or I don't care.
I mean, I guess if it's so with Datamines, it's just left to the masses for the most part. Like it's left up to the people that data mine it. For if it's being released through FoxNext and then being pulled through the content creators, I think it's just a little more order rather than chaos. So I would prefer that. But I'm also biased, and I get that. So
yeah,
I don't know if my opinion counts.
And honestly, the information that has been put out by FoxNext, barring one major issue, when it has come through, whether it be us or somebody else, barring like the Carnage Premium Orb thing, the data from or the information from FoxNext has been reliable, right? Datamines change. Datamines, well, reliable-ish.
Their opinion, I don't trust their opinion on things because I don't think that they know how to play their own game, honestly.
You mean the top raid team?
Yeah, exactly. The top raid team.
No, I get that, but I'm talking about just, information for general consumption. I mean, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I really do.
Yeah.
But I think it's better that it at least, because data mines are unreliable. They are not meant for, because they can change, right? They're just kind of placeholders in the game. I would rather have something that we can go back to FoxNext and hold their feet to the fire on. Data mines?
Yeah, I get that.
People
just need to understand whenever it comes to data mines, like they're not meant to be taken as this is the reality of the situation and this is how you have to just go into it knowing that this is just a placeholder and it could easily change. This is what they're thinking about right now.
But too many times, like on Reddit and everything else, I see people go, "Oh, it's a data mine. We need to all change our farming strategy." And, "Oh my God, we all need to do this. We all need to do that." And it's, no. Step back, take a breath, and don't.
Yeah.
They're data mine, man.
Yeah, it does cost like mass panic and, like panic farming and things like that whenever people see certain things on data mines. But I will say, like, I think they've probably been like 70% accurate, 70 to 80% accurate even. So it's had like a pretty good run as far as accuracy is concerned. Right. So I wouldn't totally like throw it out the window with whatever you see. But
well, I'm hoping that what we're going to be seeing with this new community managers, we're going to see better information coming to us for dissemination, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think so.
When I say us, I mean content creators. Because there are some great content creators out there, and so President Company included. Biased. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I am biased.
Yeah, it's hard to talk about this kind of stuff without being biased.
But yeah. So hopefully that continues. So out of the 71 responses, 45 people did say FoxNext, 23 said they didn't care, and 3 people said data mines. Next question: what is your preferred format for receiving new information? Audio, video, text, or no preference?
I honestly like audio and video the best. I think there's a time for all of them, like if I can't listen to anything, then text works best. But if I'm in the car or something like that, I like audio. And if I'm at home, I prefer video. So I think there's a time for all of them. So I know that doesn't fit into was there an I don't care option?
There was a no preference.
Okay, no preference. Then I'll take the no preference one.
Okay. I actually am more of a text person because I like to do cross references and be able to go back to it and not have to slog through, a 2-hour podcast or a 15-minute video, just to pull out that
great
nugget of
advertising
information.
for our podcast.
Hey,
slog through a podcast for 2 hours.
Wait, we're entertaining, right? There are others not quite so much.
Yeah.
We at least entertain, or at least we try to. People hate my voice, but that's all right.
I mean, the amount of podcasts are limited. I think that they're all very good. But
yes,
yeah, I think
the MSF podcasts. I think the MSF podcasts are great. I've heard podcasts for other games that are not so great. So don't hear me say that the other MSF podcast is not good. I do like them. I think they're good.
Yeah.
So, I'm more of a text guy. I like being able to read it and process it. So, out of the 71 responses, 25 people said no preference. That was the biggest response there. 22 people did say text, and then audio and video were evenly matched at 12 apiece.
It's interesting.
Next question was, what do you think of the new community manager Cerebro? So you like him, you don't like him, or don't have an opinion either way?
I like him because of the reasons I mentioned before. I think that they've done better with communications, and I attribute that to him because I know that was his goal, and I've seen it. Those things be put in place, so I would say it's a good thing. So I like him.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I've had an opportunity to talk to him. Maybe we had like a 45-minute video call. Really nice guy. I have no complaints. So I'm really looking forward to what he's bringing. But 48 people agree with us and like him. 22 don't have an opinion either way, and 1 don't like him. So if you're the person that doesn't like him, please text me, private message me, let me know. So I'd like to have that discussion to try to understand better.
You're about to get trolled.
Probably. That's okay, man. I get trolled anyway. I think people find it funny. I have been told I need to Hulk out more. On
trolling
the show.
I don't think that you should Hulk out more, but trolling can be funny when done appropriately. Yes.
When done appropriately, and there's another content creator who thinks it's hilarious and enjoys it when we get into our arguments, and I get angry. So how do you feel about the level of communication by Cerebro since his introduction? Like it, don't like it, or don't have an opinion either way?
I like it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the communication has been amazingly better since he's taken over the community manager
went from
role.
like 0 to some.
Right.
That's great.
I would say more than some. Just look at our Discord.
Yeah, that's true.
Our Discord is set up that whenever he posts on Reddit, we get notification, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you just scroll back last Thursday, if you scroll back 420, 419, 418, it's been like consistent for a while now. And we're getting a lot. He's even jumping on posts that aren't his. So
yeah, but I don't take that as a realistic example because he's new, and I think that he is probably trying to communicate a lot more right now. I bet a couple months from now it probably won't be at the same activity level, but we'll see. I could easily be wrong, but if I was going into a new job where I needed to impress and they've had problems before, I would be doing the same thing. So
that's a very fair assessment. That's very fair. So again, we'll give it some time. But so far I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I agree.
52 people do agree with us. 16 don't have an opinion either way, and 3 don't like it. I'm not sure what. I understand that we get a couple of trolls. Maybe they've added one. Maybe they're multiplying. maybe they're having baby
they had
trolls.
Just a little troll baby.
They had a troll baby, and that's why we're getting 3 now.
The third.
But if you really don't like the level of communication, I'm not sure what more you could want out of something. Considering what we did have.
Yeah.
So the next question, which is directly related to an earlier question about the content creators being given the new character release information, be able to put out the content about it. We were told Colossus is coming to the game, which I'm kind of excited about. But how do you feel about Colossus coming to the game? You happy? You're not happy? Or you don't care either way?
I'm really excited because I think Colossus is a great character, but I'm more excited because I'm getting closer to Gambit, I feel like.
Maybe.
So
Look, you're here. I'm gonna break your heart. Okay, Gambit was not an original X-Men. You're not gonna see him for a while. Okay, you've got more X-Men to go before you even come close to getting it in Gambit.
But
you gotta have Jean Grey. You gotta have Scott.
But I agree with you. But Gambit is one of the most popular X-Men, so that could give him some bonus points in pulling him in quicker.
You've got stats for that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. My personal opinion. That's the stat for it right there.
Well, you said he's the most popular. One of the most popular. Not the most, but you said one of.
I think that's fair. I bet I could find something. Hold on a second.
Oh, please. I'm not taking time for this. I was being facetious.
I'm looking.
Of course you are.
Top 100 greatest X-Men. Wolverine, Cyclops, Jean Grey, Rogue, Gambit, Colossus, Nightcrawler, Beast, and then it goes on.
Okay.
So
I think that there are... I think that you're going to see... he may come to the game, right? And we're getting way off track, which is normal for us. It probably took us this long to do it.
That's the same part. Surprised.
Well, why I'm surprised. But I think we're going to see more original X-Men first. So we'll get... My daughter started saying yeet all the time. So sometimes it just comes out. We're going to start getting more X-Men, especially with Dark Phoenix coming soon.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to see Beast. We're going to see, we'll probably see Nightcrawler. I think Professor X is probably going to be the next legendary after Shuri. I'm
going to go ahead and call my shot. He's going to be in the game within the next 6 months.
I mean, 6 months is a long time. I'm going to say it's going to be before then. I think he'll be in by July.
I'm going to say within the next 6 months. That's what I'm going with. So I guess we might both be right.
Well, this is true. You've gone so far into the future.
Exactly.
That, the Sentinels have taken over.
Exactly.
So, I think that he'll be. I think he's going to be the next. I think he'll be the next legendary. How can you not have Professor X be a legendary character?
If they don't make him be a legendary, I'm gonna rage quit.
Yeah, and you'll need 5.
It doesn't make sense.
You'll need 5 X-Men to unlock him, right? Not X-Force, but X-Men. So we've only got 2 right now. Yeah. We've got a 3rd coming, and I think we'll see Jean Grey, and we'll see Scott come in, Cyclops, and I think those will be the 5 that you need to unlock Professor X.
Yeah.
So, getting back to the poll, how do you feel about Colossus coming to the game? We both are happy about it. 59 people agreed with us. 11 don't care either way, and 1's not happy. Okay, man. Okay, troll. That now the parent trolls are letting the baby troll test his wings. Let's see. Next question was, do you think Colossus will synergize with Wolverine, aka the fastball special? Yes or no?
Say that one more time.
Do you think Colossus will synergize with Wolverine, aka the fastball special?
Yeah, I think so. I would think it would be a shame if they didn't.
Yeah, I think it would kind of be egg on their face if they didn't as well. 56 people agreed with us. 15 people said no because they have lost all faith in Fox Next. Let's see.
Understandable.
Right, yeah. How do you feel about Falcon coming to the game? Happy, not happy, or don't care either way?
I just don't like Falcon. I'm not a fan of him in the slightest bit. I talk about this in the podcast.
Let me ask you this:
too,
are you talking the MCU Falcon? Or are you talking the Marvel?
I'm definitely talking exclusively MCU Falcon because I have no idea about comic book Falcon. But
all right,
because
I was saying comic book Falcon was awesome because he was in Harlem and he actually had. So you remember in was it Age of Ultron where we saw Red Wing, where like he was talking with Black Widow and is like, say thank you. She's like, I'm not thinking that thing.
Yeah.
So in the comics, Red Wing was an actual bird. He was a hawk.
Okay.
He was a real hawk. And he was in New York City. Falcon was in New York City and stuff. So he was really, really cool. They completely changed the character for the MCU.
Yeah, I think I don't like where he is for the MCU. He sounds like he's a lot cooler in the comics. So, I wish that it was more like that I would know that one. I also don't know if it's an actor thing or if it's a just pure writing for the character thing.
Oh, you don't like Anthony Mackie?
I mean,
I've seen him in other stuff. He's pretty good.
I can't recall any other movie specifically that I remember seeing him. I'm sure I have seen him in other stuff, but that's the thing. I just don't. I can't really think of anything in particular that's made me go like, oh man, like he's a great actor. Like I've seen that with everyone else. I feel like has had a moment, but I've just never had like that moment where I'm like, wow, this character is really cool, or wow, this guy's a really good actor.
Yeah, he. Let's see. He was in The Hurt Locker. He was in Altered Carbon. If you watch that,
I did not.
Let's see. He's in IO on Netflix.
Also, didn't watch that.
I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah, he's actually done a lot of stuff. I'm just kind of picking out some of the bigger stuff. He was in Ant-Man.
Yeah, I know that. He was in there for that little bit.
Let's see. Oh, this is funny. So he was in a movie called The Fifth Estate.
Never saw it.
Which is fine. I only called that out because his character name in The Fifth Estate was Sam Coulson.
Mm-hmm.
Agent Coulson.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's why I found that one interesting. He was in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
I actually saw that.
Did you really? I have not seen that one.
I did.
I have not seen that one.
I don't remember him in it, but yeah,
oh wow, he was in We Are Marshall. That was a great movie.
I don't remember that one.
We Are Marshall is about Marshall University. They had there was a tragedy back in the 70s where there was a plane crash that killed their coach and a whole bunch of the football players, and they had to basically rebuild the football program. It had Matthew McConaughey in it. All right. He was in 8 Mile. Huh. Anyway, he's been in a lot of stuff. I like him, and he's going to be in the new TV series, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Really?
Yep, that's a Disney Plus, which I am getting November 19th. Man, mark your calendars. Disney Plus.
I'll probably have to get it because they're bringing in some Star Wars stuff, and I do love me Star Wars.
Oh, they're bringing in Star Wars. They've got Wanda and Vision.
I will never watch that ever.
So
never.
I've been thinking about starting up a reactionary podcast to some of the stuff that's coming on Disney Plus because I think that's
not a bad idea.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think it'll be good.
So, anyway, so you were kind of not happy about it, or just didn't care either way, or about Falcon coming to the game?
Yeah, I'm kind of like meh on it. I mean, I like it, I guess, overall because it's just another character to add to the game, more synergies, things like that. So it's only a plus for the game, right? But my particular feelings on the character itself, I don't care for him. I wasn't like super excited and wanting him. This doesn't fill some hole that I have in my soul,
right?
Like Gambit,
right, right, like a viable vision.
Like a vision that doesn't make me want to rage quit everything in my life.
Play the character, not the man. Paul Bettany.
I love Paul Bettany.
There you go.
I loved him since A Knight's Tale. That movie,
yes.
I saw the movie and I was like,
yes.
This guy's amazing.
Rest in peace, Heath Ledger.
Yeah. So I don't blame him at all. I know that he can act like crazy, but it's just what they did with the character doesn't make any sense to me. I just don't like it.
Fair enough.
I look at someone like Captain Marvel, and I'm like, okay, she got infected. Don't worry, people. I'm not giving any. This is all like.
Well, you're okay to talk about Captain Marvel the movie because we're past the 30-day spoiler mark.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's nothing to do with any, of like the new movie. It's not that. But you look at someone like Captain Marvel, and she was just like infected by one of the stones. And then I look at Vision, who has a stone in his freaking forehead, and he can't do any, or at least he hasn't done anything even close to as amazing as she does on a regular basis. So
Yeah,
the
and
Vision
she
character,
wasn't even. I don't think she was even infected by one of the stones. It was a hyperdrive failure.
yeah, something like, well, it was like, I think it was something to do with the stone. If I remember correctly, it was like something to do with one of the stones gave the energy for that hyperdrive, which then ended up blowing it.
Was Marvel using the Tesseract in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's fine. But still.
So it was like she was infected with energy from it. But
It
yeah,
tells
so
you
that's
how
my
much
point.
I
Is like,
remember from that movie. Which I enjoyed, but ugh.
well, it's just like that kind of stuff. Like that's annoying to me because it just doesn't make any logical sense. So
Right. I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of meh. I'm not going after Falcon. I mean, I'll unlock him when his campaign event comes out.
yeah,
But other than that, but 50 people did say they were happy with it. 20 said they didn't care either way, and one person said they're not happy with it.
yeah. I will also say, just because someone did mention it in the chat, like his kit is good, and I think it's good for. It's something we kind of need right now, or will be useful. I shouldn't say need, but will be useful right now in the current climate of the game. So he does do something good for the game.
Yeah. That's actually the next question is what do you think of Falcon's kit? So it looks amazing. Yeah. It looks okay. It doesn't look okay. It looks bad, or I haven't looked at it yet.
Yep. I mean, it looks good. Like I said, I think it just kind of gives us something that is going to be very useful right now in the current climate of the game. So I wouldn't say he's amazing, but I think he's good for sure.
Yeah, I've looked at it. It looks okay. I mean, it's really nice for war, and it's really good if you pair him up with like War Machine and Iron Man and the other kind of Avenger team. I would put Captain Marvel in there. Did he get the military tag? I can't remember.
Who?
Falcon.
I don't think so.
Let's see, Falcon. Hero Global Tech Blaster Power Armor. I think that him not having military, at least from an MCU standpoint, I don't remember if he went into the military in the comics, but I think that he's obviously the MCU version. I think him not having military is kind of a bad thing, but I also understand that when you pair him, if you gave him military and then you paired him with War Machine, Iron Man, and then Captain Marvel on top of that, that would be some explosive damage. That would be a crazy team. But I do like the fact that they kind of mitigated. Well, I don't know. Part of me likes it, part of me hates it. That they mitigated a lot of his damage output to war, or a lot of his stuff is specific to war. I don't like that they're making kind of mode specific characters.
Yeah, that was something that I've been afraid of for a while. Like I mentioned, this the first time I saw it, I was just like, man, this I feel like doesn't bode well.
Yeah, I think we talked about it when they did Manus, because she was the first one with like raid specific stuff.
Yeah.
And I think we're just seeing it grow, and I just not a huge fan. So I think his kit looks okay as well. And 45 people out of 71 responses did agree with us. 17 people said it looks amazing. 7 people said they haven't looked yet. 2 said it doesn't look okay. Nobody said it looks bad. Not a one.
Yeah, I think it is like a certainly at least a solid kit.
Yeah. The next question was, do you like the power armor trait? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think it makes sense. I feel like there's enough characters to justify making that trait. So I would say it's okay. And I like being able to create like smaller groupings of characters too.
Yeah.
So
I think
it's cool. Yeah.
I think that before you can add in a new trait, I think you should have at least 5 people for a team. I get your point of the smaller team, right? Because only 3 characters have the power armor trait. Currently. It may have been a little bit soon, but we'll see. I mean, I don't have a
I don't
problem
mind it
with
as long as I think that that's fine if they do that, but I don't think that they should ever be able to use that as a trait for something in like the raids,
right.
You know?
Yeah, I don't know. I just get worried that we're going to wind up getting these traits like X-Force, which still only has 2 members.
Yeah.
And then that's just it. So hopefully we'll get more X-Force soon. We'll see. Because we need us some Domino.
Well, at least this has synergy with, like, good synergy with the with those characters.
Yes.
If I remember correctly. Yeah. Like, or I don't know if there's good synergy because I'm thinking back and I'm not sure if there's actually any synergy at all besides Falcons, and it's not that great. So maybe not.
Well,
but
he gets plus 5% block chance per power armor ally.
Right. So that brings out if it includes himself, so that's going to bring it up 15. So
right.
I mean, it's not like, oh my god. That's what I was saying. It's not like anything
I have
special.
a feeling we're going to see more power armor soon, though.
I imagine we will as well, but it's just, I think back to X-Force. I think they have like a counter synergy or something like that, if I remember correctly. Like it's something small too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't mind the small groupings. I just don't want them to use it as like limitations in raids.
Yeah. So 43 people agreed and said that yes, they like the power armor trait. 28 people said no. Next question was, will you run Falcon with Iron Man and War Machine? Yes or no?
I think I probably, well, it's hard to say because, not all those characters are people that I'm going to be leveling up for strategic reasons. But, if I had everyone leveled up, yeah, I'd probably potentially run them together. So
yeah, same here. 51
but
people.
Yes, with an asterisk.
Yeah, I can agree with that one. 51 people agreed and said yes, and 19 people said no. Next question is, will you run Captain Marvel with that team? And I think that's where where I think she needs to be on that team personally. So my answer here is yes.
I would have to see, so I'm gonna say maybe.
Okay. Well, that was not an option. It's yes or no.
Why do you try to put me in boxes? Sure. Yes.
I'm not doing it.
I feel like
today.
I'm gonna have one that's just like you only have one answer. It's yes, and it's like, but I disagree with that. It's like too bad.
Too bad. That was the only option. No, you could say yes with an asterisk, like you did, right?
Is the asterisk meaning no?
No, but no is an option here. You said maybe.
Yeah.
I think Captain Marvel needs to run with that team just for the military synergy, and at least in war. And maybe I should have caveated this with in war, because I think that Captain Marvel, she needs to be with War Machine, and War Machine needs to be with Iron Man, and I think Falcon will work great with those two. So I think Captain Marvel being in there it just kind of makes a lot of sense. So 44 people agreed and said yes. 25 people said no. Let's see. Getting close to the end now. 2 questions left. Do you like the Wave 1 Avenger trait? Yes or no?
Yeah, I like it just for, I guess, what it means is coming. Like, yeah. I think that, it obviously implies something that we're going to have like wave 2 or whatever. And so having potential unique synergies within like all of wave 1 characters, I like the idea of that in theory, but I never trust MSF to execute things appropriately. So,
which is fair.
Yeah. So that's a yes with an asterisk on it.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good to see the OG Avengers kind of getting their own thing. I would like to see some touch ups to their kits to make more synergy versus just the Hulk, but I think that might be coming soon.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be seeing some. Hopefully, we'll see some OG Avenger reworks, touch-ups, whatever you want to call them, to provide some of that Wave 1 Avenger synergy. 50 people did say yes, they agreed with us. 21 people disagreed and said no. And last but not least for this week, do you like the direction the game is going? Yes or no?
It's a tough one. I would say, so overall, if I compare what's important to me, keep in mind this is subjective, I would say no. Because if I look at what's happened over time, the game is becoming more and more and more time intensive. And that's something that I do not like. I like the idea of these new modes that they've put in, if they kind of change some things to make the rewards more worth the time effort. But and I like, the new characters. I love their character design, and I like, the abilities, the animations, everything like that. So I like it in that facet. But it's just, overall, the big time suck factor is something that's really weighing on me, and something's gonna have to give at some point with this game. So, so overall, I would say no, because I think that's the thing I fear the most, and that's what they seem to be running towards the fastest.
Yeah, I wanted to say yes, right? And my intent behind this question when I originally did it was I was talking more about, or at least in my mind, right? When I created this one was, we're getting the better communication, we're seeing more reworks, we're seeing new characters, but you raised some really valid points that I hadn't thought about when I wrote the question, and I'm kind of glad now that I definitely left it more open ended, because they are going more towards that time suck. Just a couple of weeks ago, I think we were both in the 20-hour range.
I wasn't. I
was in the 20+ hour range.
I purposely was dropping down. Yeah.
Now in the past 7 days, I've purposely cut back myself, and I'm back in the 10-hour range. But even then, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's still an average of, almost 2 hours a day.
Exactly.
And that's a lot for a mobile game. And I've got a lot, it's like I was talking to my wife yesterday, and I'm like, I'm starting to feel dragged in so many different directions that something's going to have to give soon. Something is going to have to give, and it's, when I just, I don't know. Too much time suck with nothing to show for it. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like it's on that kind of teetering edge right now. Like, can you imagine this game with another raid added, or like another mode added, or something like that? Because something like that's gonna happen at some point. Like, yeah, and that's the problem. Is
War.
That, like,
I mean, War. If you want to be good, I mean, if you want to really thrive in War, you've got to be there early on. And the mode is designed to keep you on, because you have to be there to like boost. So you have to be paying attention and watching.
Yeah, and I really feel bad for alliance leaders with War, because I mean, we went through 2 different alliance leaders, if I remember correctly, on my just previous alliance. They said because it was just too much work and effort for so little payoff as an alliance leader, especially. But that being said, still for everyone, it's so much of a time suck. And so right now, I would say, like, it is right on that edge of, like, if you give us any more, you're going to start pushing people off the cliff. We just can't take it. So, and imagine that perfect storm situation where you have a character event and a really good blitz, and you have, 2 or 3, whatever you call them, raids running. And you have War going. Like, can you imagine, like, all of that perfect storm time, how terrible it's going to be on this game?
We got Okoye this week, or again, right? Yeah. I haven't even gotten milestones. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I refuse to go in and blitz anymore. I'll hit it every once in a while because we get alliance milestone points from it. But I'm not spending my time on this game anymore. I'm just not doing it. It's too much. Evan.
I mean, I'm spending my
hit me-
time on the game, but yeah, sorry,
Well,
go ahead.
Evan's pinged me a couple of times this week. It's like, hey, we just need one node from you in the raid. I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. You know, we're trying to 100% and restart a new raid. You know, I'm like, yeah, okay, man, I'll get to it. I get you. But it's just, I go in and I hit auto anymore. This Thanos raid, I'll tell you what, I love this Thanos raid because I just load up my team and I hit auto and I'm done.
Yeah.
I auto all the way to Thanos. Now I didn't. I probably
will
could have
say-
auto on Thanos, but I didn't auto Thanos himself.
Well, yeah, I will say, I think this sounds like so douchey. Probably, I'm sorry, but I think that it's particularly even a little worse for people that have some kind of MSF content because there's a whole nother layer of extra time added into our schedules that a lot of other people who are just playing the game don't get. So we already have another thing on top of everything that we're already doing.
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't
game.
think people
So-
realize how much time we actually put into, you know, because these polls, they don't just magically create themselves. You got to put time into thinking about the questions. You know, we do show notes, we do
Organizing the
pre-show,
show notes, yeah. Editing takes forever.
editing the show. You know, we talk throughout the week about different stuff, you know, and then we got to
Exactly.
change course. We got to be monitoring Reddit, and which is just a salt mine. You know, we got to
And
be
I'm not
monitoring.
complaining about any. Like,
No,
I mean,
and don't
obviously
hear
this was our
right. No,
decision.
don't. Yeah, look, you and I both started doing podcasting for fun. I didn't get into podcasting to make money. I did it because I wanted to. I love talk show radio, right?
Yeah.
And I got into it for that. So I don't do this for the money. You know, you guys that do support our show, we love you very much. I apologize
Absolutely.
we didn't give you a shout out earlier. But you guys are fantastic, and without you, I don't know if I would have continued doing this. Just because it is such a time suck,
It is that extra layer.
that extra layer, right? Because I may be in game for 22 hours, but my total MFS time, MSF time,
MSF time.
is probably closer to 30 to 35 hours a week.
Yeah, I would agree. And so, you know, just to bring it, you know, back full circle, yeah, I am, you know, worried about, you know, those perfect storm times whenever we just have so much that we need to do, and also what the next big thing that they'll be adding into the game will do to it. So it's just people only have so much time, right? And you can only impede on it so much until people basically start to revolt because they are forced into a situation where they have to do bad because they can't participate to the fullest.
Right.
So,
So getting back to the question, I think we both are kind of in that gray area. I know we, you know, it's a binary option, yes or no. I'm going to say yes with an asterisk.
yeah. I'm going to say no with an asterisk.
Okay. So 62 people agreed with yes and 9 said no.
Damn. I can't believe I'm in the minority on that. I actually was expecting a lot more. But yeah, I think if we had the middle option though, I can guarantee you that would be the most for sure.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by that. So that is our episode 30 listener poll. Thank you again, everybody. I have noticed the responses are dropping way down, even for the smaller time frame. So if you have any suggestions on, you know, how we can, because I blast this everywhere. I send it to all the different MSF discords. I put it on Reddit. I put it on our Discord. You know, I think we're going to try adding a few open-ended stuff. So if you have any ideas on how we can increase,
Spice it up a bit.
yeah, spice it up, increase responses, that would be awesome. Love to hear it. So why don't we go ahead and get into the news of the week? So we are an hour and 10 minutes in. So
Wow.
the poll takes a little while because we have organic
does.
discussion around it, right? And but I think it's also good because it's a chance for the community to let us know how they feel about these issues. And while it's not the grab bag, which is one of the things I'm thinking about, or I should say we're thinking about, sorry.
No, you're fine.
It's, you know, it is a way to get feedback from the community on the current topics. So
yeah, and people have mentioned that before, that they kind of missed the grab bag. So
yes, and the grab bag is going to make a return. We're just not entirely sure how it's going to make its return. So it will. We're talking about it, and hopefully we'll have something in the next week or so. Let's go ahead and get into the news, shall we? Because I kind of want to get through this stuff. So this past week we did have update 3.1 with its obligatory bugs. So some of the bugs that have been reported were the orb freezing, the Thanos raid freezing, auto win freezing, and orb rewards missing since the update. Now, if you're on Android, update 3.1.2 has dropped as of the time of this recording. Apple's probably going to be in the next few days. You know what, though, Hebrew? The one thing I love about updates, free compensation.
Free compensation, yeah, that's true.
They do have a tendency to compensate, but the problem is that what they give you and what I want are two different things. Because I just want them to give me like 50 red stars and be done with it.
Yeah, I'd shut my mouth for 50 red stars. That's for sure.
You can keep everything else. Just give me red stars for compensation. I'll get gold. I'm finally got tier 10 of that gold challenge done. I'll get the gold. I'm fine. But give me more red stars because I that's the only way to progress in this game at this point.
Right.
Boy, one thing you and I have talked about this. Was there anything on the orb or on the bugs that you wanted to talk about?
Just not specifically. Just it's annoying that they're there, and it's causing issues and blah.
Yeah. Now, one thing I did notice, because I got the Android update yesterday, I was still having what looked like freezing for the orbs, but then I just let it sit for a little bit, and they just worked. So, and I've not had any problem after doing that a few times. Because you don't open orbs on your machine. On your console, on your phone, on your tablet, in BlueStacks, you don't open them locally. You're not opening orbs ever locally. You're communicating with the server, and everything is happening on the server.
Right.
So I don't know if maybe they were having server issues or if there was a communication problem. But that's going to be there. I don't think there was a bug in with the client itself, though there may have been. But I think it was more likely in communication.
Right. I would agree with that.
So since the update though, man, we're going to rename this game to Marvel Pop-Up Force.
I 100% agree with that.
I counted, and I think before I even got to play the game, right? So I logged in last night, and this was, or it was yesterday. I logged in yesterday. And so I had milestones to collect. I had orbs to collect. I wanted to check some of my characters. I had not even gotten a chance to go into war to play, go into the raid to play, to go into Blitz, campaign, nothing. And I saw 12 to 14 pop-ups.
Right. I mean, that's been my experience too. It's stupid. It's what I said earlier. It's just disrespectful to the player base, I think.
It is. It's really disrespectful because anytime you go to the home screen, you're getting 2. Then you go to another screen, you're getting 1 or 2 there. The best one. This was fun. The best one was I went to like the supplies screen, and I had excess characters to claim for Ultimate Shards. And so the claim for the Ultimate Shard kind of overlaid the ad, but the buttons were kind of in the same location. I actually hesitated for like 30 seconds because I'm like, if I hit this button, is it going to register the character claim, or is it going to register the ad claim?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, this is disgusting. And I messaged Cerebro, and I'm like, and I told him, I'm like, this is disgusting. I actually just shut down the game and walked away for a few hours. I was like, that made me so mad. It makes me so mad. And I'll just quit. If they're going to continue doing this, I'm just going to quit. I say that a lot. I know.
But I mean,
story going to rage quit about this week?
It makes me want to just have spite to them, close the game.
Yeah, I mean, I know whales and the people spending money. You know, this is a game it's a business. I get that, and nobody is telling Marvel or Strikeforce, Fox Next, don't make money. Please don't make money. Nobody is saying that, right? But have some courtesy, man. Like, I went to the offer screen because sometimes I just go to the offer screen to see what's available for cores because I'm collecting the small stockpile, and it showed me an offer. It showed me a pop-up ad on the offer screen, and I'm like, that's pathetic.
Yeah.
So there are way too many pop-ups in this game. You know, now thankfully, I may have run the gamut yesterday. I've not seen too many today. So maybe I just don't shut down the game ever. Because if the game has to restart, I'm really afraid if the game ever has to restart. I'm just going to leave it running in the background.
Oh, yeah.
Which is what they want. They want that engagement. So, I don't know. We did get a notice in the update 3.1 that we are getting a mystery support character. Should we talk about who that mystery support character may be?
No.
Okay. We're not going to talk about who that mystery support character may be. I have a feeling, though, it's going to be really cool if it's the mystery support character that we think it's going to be. We are getting the Falcon event starting on April 30th, so Tuesday. The Falcon event is coming. Hebrew corrected me. I had thought that in the past when they did like the campaign events, they had a corresponding blitz, but they're not. I guess they didn't. I'm misremembering. So there's only going to be the Falcon event. And one thing I love in the dev blog that we got on Friday, they're letting us know like who the next main blitz is going to be. So,
yeah, I like that.
We already know that on the first blitz in May, it should start May 2nd. Let's see, the 30th. Yeah, April's only 30 days. So Thursday, May 2nd, it's going to be Mystique Blitz. We already know this. That's spectacular. I've wanted this for so long. I think that it's great that in the week ahead, they're telling you who the next Blitz character is going to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. I like the concept of it because then you know what to prepare for.
Yep. Let's see. From the dev blog, let's see. We've already kind of talked about the power armor in the Wave 1 Avengers, which is the Wave 1 Avengers is going to Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, Hawkeye, and Hulk. And it does synergize with his special ability Rage. Hulk got his update, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. We were told that there will be a new Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Let's see. Let's see. This isn't the second character we're teasing for version 3.1, but a character scheduled to arrive later this year. Here's a small exclusive for all the readers of this blog. He's a cool guy who doesn't look at explosions, and a character designed to work alongside S.H.I.E.L.D. teams in Alliance War. Making the leap to Marvel Strike Force later this year is Agent Coulson. I'm actually kind of excited by that. And if his special isn't Tahiti, I'm going to be mad.
Yeah.
Or his ultimate needs to be, that's what that does. Yeah, I'm actually excited. I love Coulson. I thought that he was a great way to tie all the Avenger movies together. I stopped watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I want to say season 3. When Daisy went bad, basically.
Yeah.
But it's carried on, so I need to keep watching. So I may start that again. Let's see. We have the Shuri Legendary event with the Wakandan team. It's funny. So on their Twitter, they have kind of a Wakanda preview video, and in that preview video, it says the top raid team. But in the blog here, it does say the Wakanda team becomes a top tier raid team with Shuri at the helm.
Yeah.
So we have seen some info on Reddit from other content creators or I guess other people, I'm not sure. Hebrew saw this, I haven't. That they're not as good as advertised.
Yeah, basically, it seems like people are posting up saying that they are not what they expected them to be. That they're somewhere around the Kree Defenders range, but it's not worth the crazy investment that you wanted. Some people said that they think that it's worse than Kree, but I can't say one or the other because I haven't seen them in full force yet, and obviously I definitely don't have them because my Spider-Verse team was not up to par enough to get her. So
yeah, I haven't bothered.
yeah, so but I thought that was really interesting, and it's bad because that was like a big cash grab team, you know.
Well, yeah, because the only way to get those characters, I mean, you had 2 characters on that team that you can't farm.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, sure, Green Goblin has a node now, but Carnage, he's only in the War Store. That's the only place you're going to get him. Miles is only a raid drop character. You know, so is Venom. We have 2 raid drop characters that are part of that team. That team is a horrible farm for a legendary event, and I really do think that it's more stinge and greed from Fox Next on that.
Right, I agree with that.
So that's pretty much kind of the dev blog from the past week. Let's see, release notes for 3-1. Let's see, we saw the Falcon event, the Hulk update, War Machine update, traits event. Alliance War features. The squad order can now be adjusted in set defense. That's nice. So you don't have to delete a team to move them around. And they updated the MVP calculations for more accurate MVP picks. Let's see. Other features. They added rank leaderboards and contribution leaderboards to the Alliance milestone events. They improved badging on the home and roster screens. Dark Dimension time leaderboards can now be viewed by all players. They updated the character stats button to actually look like a button. And then the adaptive Android icons for Android 7 devices. I'm still waiting for the Dark Dimension rewards update. We were all supposed to get that.
Well, they said that it's going to be coming for those that already completed it in time, if I remember correctly. And I think they even said, correct me if I'm wrong on this, for anyone that's in the audience, that those, like, they said some people might not even end up receiving them, I think. Something like that.
Anybody that's completed Dark Dimension is supposed to get the upgraded rewards.
Right.
And if you completed it twice, you should be getting double the rewards.
Right, but I remember seeing something about, like, in something that they put out. I could be wrong. Like I said, I probably just need to pull up the post, but it was something along the lines of, like, we're going to try to get them to everyone. You know, it's been anyone that completes it from now on will get it, but for people that have already completed it, you'll be getting it in time, and in some extremely rare cases, like, you won't get them.
Yeah, I thought, Cyber here
if
said
you made
progress
okay.
between they did the data and the update, you would not get the rewards for that progress. So I think they basically told people, hey, don't do anything until the update in Dark Dimension.
But you know what's so dumb about that is, what about all the people, the vast majority of the people that are not getting these updates from them? You know what I mean? That don't know to look at these updates for information like that.
Yeah. I mean, they really need to send out an in-game email with a link to the blog post.
Yeah.
That to me would be a wise thing to do.
Yeah, because that just doesn't make any sense.
I think it's some feedback we're going to give you disagree, bro.
I think so. Just because that doesn't, we are the tiny minority of the population here. We're the hyper aware people. But for all those people that are just stumbling along, like, I mean, those people might fall into the trap of what they, of those, that weird time frame that might screw them over. And that's just not fair.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Give me 1 second. I'm actually typing a message up to him right now.
I'm curious to see what will happen on that. But I mean, it's also like for when we're gonna get them, who knows? Because if we look at like some of those things from the, especially from the, what was it, the like Marvel code things, it took forever to get rewards from those, and I think some people probably still haven't even got them
Yeah.
from like the redeemable code stuff. So I don't hold my breath for stuff like that. They'll do it right because they're so unorganized.
Yeah, he did say that. But if you're going to be doing a dev blog, you just need an address and you can pre-plan that information. And honestly, there is a way. There's a way to send in-game mails without having to send client restarts or updates. They've done it.
Yeah,
So,
you can do that. That's not an issue.
Yeah, well, Cyrus Shark brought up, Cerebro said that in-game messages take a lot of planning or something, and I
say I dislagree with him on that. Like,
yeah, I'm not
Cerebro
sure what exactly he's talking about, but I just like I said during the live show, recording, just send him a message with a recommendation. So good job, everybody. Golf clap for you guys.
Go team, go.
Go team. All right. So getting back to the where were we? What were we talking about here? Yeah, the Dark Dimension, and waiting for the rewards for that. So hopefully that comes sooner rather than later. There were a bunch of bug fixes. I'm not going to run through all of them. But there's one bug that they fixed that's not on the list here. That is huge, especially for one of the teams I run. They fixed death from bleed, triggering character passives. So it used to be like if a character, like if you had Minerva, right, and Minerva does stuff on when a character dies. When they died from bleed, her passive wasn't triggering. Thanos, when people died, his eternal passive was not triggering. They fixed that so that like Minerva,
I think that was an issue with Groot.
Was there an issue with Groot too?
I think that might have been one. That's just one that I'm whenever Groot dies, he gives everyone a passive, right?
Right.
Or I'm sorry, he gives everyone buffs. So if he dies from bleed, I'm not sure if that would apply.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one, but if they fix bleed triggering passive is what it sounds like, which is awesome. Especially when you build a Kree team with Minerva and Thanos. It's because that regen energy train just keeps on rolling.
Yeah.
It's really kind of sick. And I really want to try that in War. Just kind of have her, Thanos, and maybe Drax.
Yeah.
That could be insane.
I agree.
I've seen that there's like an unlimited health team for War that is, if you have like a maxed out Mantis with a Drax, she just keeps feeding him. And maybe Minerva's on that team. I can't remember. I think but there's only like 3 characters on that team. And basically you can't, because Drax auto taunts and Mantis just has that synergy with Drax where she just keeps healing him.
Yeah.
It apparently it's very hard to kill if you have a beefy enough Drax.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I'm sorry,
dude. It's 5:00 in the afternoon. 5:30.
Yeah.
Oof.
I got a bad sleep last night, but yeah, I didn't end up going to actually go to sleep until like 5:00 in the morning. So.
So yeah. Let's see. Bug fixes. They fixed the red stars not displaying correctly in defending helicarrier slots. War MVP sometimes didn't display. Now it always displays. Raid and war results windows were overlapping after opening the game. They put a stop to that nonsense. I like the fact that they actually we put a stop to that nonsense in the update post.
Yeah.
I really see Nick writing these at this point. Because it sounds like something he would say. Let's see. Offers were disappearing from the offers list after being tapped. Shame of shames. War timer now appears after switching to war eligible alliance from a non-eligible alliance. One of the things that they added, I didn't see this as part of the notes, which was funny. And I hadn't seen it before. one thing I absolutely love that they changed with this recent update was for Alliance War on the home screen, you see the score on the Alliance War itself. I've never noticed that before. That was added as part of this update, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the badges and everything.
Yeah. So like if you're just moving back and forth on the home screen of the game, so campaigns, raids, blitzes, whatever, if you scroll to the Alliance War, you now actually see the score right there. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it for the dev blog and the update blog. Was there anything else in those that you wanted to talk about?
No, that pretty much sums it up.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we hit all the high points on that one.
Yeah, I think we did. So now we're going to get into our character spotlight. And this week we are not doing Falcon. Falcon will be next week. This week we chose a rework character. So we chose to do Hulk. So, Bruce Banner had a rough childhood with an abusive father who killed his loving mother. After being raised by his aunt and graduating from college, Bruce went to work at a Defense Department nuclear research facility at Desert Base, New Mexico. There, Banner met Thunderbolt Ross and his daughter Betty, whom Bruce fell in love with. Banner designed and oversaw construction of the Gamma Bomb. During the first testing of the Gamma Bomb, Bruce was in the instrumentation bunker at the test site and witnessed a civilian breaching the test area. Bruce told his colleague, Igor Starsky, a secret Soviet agent, to stop the countdown, but he did not. Bruce did reach a civilian, teenager Rick Jones, and threw him into a protective ditch, but before Bruce could himself get to protection, the bomb exploded, exposing him to intense gamma radiation, creating the loving Hulk that we all know. Creating the Hulk whom we all know and love. I should not try to riff on some of these sometimes and go off script.
The loving Hulk.
The loving Hulk. So his first appearance was the Incredible Hulk #1 in May 1962. And we're going to talk about primarily today the changes to his kit. So, his basic Smash no longer grants offense up if used below 50% health. Damage is now multiplied by 1.5 if used below 50% health. Now, the numbers that we're reading off are T4 ability mat numbers. So, unless you're willing to drop a T4 ability mat, you are not getting this out of Hulk. Just going to tell you. Now, the cost for the T4 is like, for example, on his basic, if you max it out, it's 1.4. It's only 1.5 if you use the T4 ability mat. So if you care about that extra 0.1%, then you're going to want to drop that mat on there. His special rage. Heal, when used below 50% health, has been increased from 10 to 15% of his max health. When he uses rage, he gains 1 counter if a Wave 1 Avenger ally is present. They fixed a bug that caused the negative effect clear to only function if Hulk was below 50% health. So that's nice. So they fixed that bug. And they fixed a bug that caused Hulk's negative effect clear to execute after his heal. He will now clear negative effects before healing, allowing him to bypass effects like heal block. And that's huge. I think that all negative effect clear should happen first. And I think the fact that he does now clear negative effects and then triggers his heal is really huge. His ultimate leap, no changes have been added. His passive, always angry. No longer grants speed up at 50% health. Now when he drops below 50% health, he will gain a speed bar up to 100% at max level. Again, that's your T4 ability mat. It's 75% until at max level. He gains offense up, and he clears stun. When he drops below 25% health, he gains death proof and clears all negative effects. His passive will now execute while he is stunned. So if he's got a 2-turn stun on him, that's going to go away at the end of his turn. That's kind of nice. I think the fact that the passive triggers when stunned is really nice.
Yeah.
When he's below 50% health, he gains plus 33% armor. I guess that's okay. I don't think armor has a very big effect in the game, though. Personally,
I think it definitely does, but it's not like crazy good like that. That's not
right,
gonna make him broken or anything.
right. He does have 10% more health now, and he now has 33% more speed. So, Hebrew and I kind of talked about this a little bit during the poll on stuff. So Hebrew, why don't you give us your rundown of what you think of his rework?
So yeah, I mean, overall, I think it's a decent rework. He didn't get things that like I really wanted him to get. One of the things was mostly a 2-turn taunt, and I wanted his resistance to be boosted up a good bit so it couldn't be dispelled very easily. I think that just made sense for his character, and that would have made him a lot more dangerous too, especially if you would have added. I think with this mechanic, if an ally, if an ally is a Wave 1 Avenger, gain counter. I'm not sure. I imagine that's just one counter, regardless of how many Wave 1 Avengers you have. But if that would have been a multiple, like you get one per Wave 1 Avenger, and he would have had a 2-turn taunt or something like that with high resistance, that would make him an incredibly dangerous character. And especially with how much damage he deals down at the lower level. I think that would be really cool. I wish that they would have done something more like that, because basically it kind of makes sense. It's like you don't want to attract the attention of this character. Like if he taunts you, you're going to be kind of screwed.
Right.
So I think that made sense. But yeah, they did switch around some stuff on his basic. They basically moved that offense up down to his passive, and they added in that multiplier instead. We're not exactly sure how that multiplier plays out. If it's the basic plus, if you're in the offense up territory as well. If it's the basic, then plus the offense up damage based off the basic, plus the 1.5 or 1.4 multiplier based on the basic, or if it's multiplicative. So I'm not sure about that yet, but we'll find that out in time.
Yeah.
The increase to the health and his speed was nice. They did take away the speed up, but they took part of it, 30% of it. So the majority of it you are going to still be getting, but it's all the time instead of just under 50%. And they also added in that speed bar mechanic, which has its benefits of just the fact that you can't dispel that or anything like that, like you could potentially with a speed up. So there's goods and bads to everything. Dorian has some good points about stuff that he might mention. I'm not sure, but it's kind of a give and take. You kind of have to decide what you like. Overall, I think this definitely makes him better. It just didn't put him quite in the position that I personally wanted him to be in. I really thought he was going to get more of a taunt specific thing. Like they were just going to really try to revolve everything around his taunt, but they didn't really do that. But that's okay. It is what it is, and they do have Cap as another taunter in that lineup. So not the worst. He's going to be hitting hard, and I think he's a solid character overall now for sure.
I think he's okay. So as you and I spoke about earlier, I really feel like the rework didn't make him particularly better overall. I think it really kind of left him a lot of the same. I think the only real benefits here were the two things that could no longer be removed, which was the damage increase and the speed up. I told people when I created the post talking about this, don't get enamored with 33% speed increase, because that only takes him to 87 speed. He's still one of the 5 slowest characters in the game.
Yeah, he is still very slow.
So it's okay. I don't like the fact that they locked everything behind T4 ability mats. And I think that the cost for what you're getting is ridiculously dumb. So for example, like I mentioned earlier on his basic, right? It's you lost offense up on his basic below 50%. Now, and I'm going to speak to that in a second, but you gain the potential for a 1.5 times damage. The problem is that you you actually lost a 10% unless you're throwing the T4 ability mat into it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I definitely agree with them hiding particularly like probably the better parts of his kit behind the T4.
Right.
It can be more of a problem because you have to invest to really see the new better parts of his character.
Right. Now, they did take the offense up and they moved it to his passive, so that it will. The problem with that is that with the basic, it triggered every time you use the basic. The offense up triggered if he was below 50% health. The passive only triggers once.
Mm-hmm.
The passive doesn't trigger every. I don't think the passive is going to trigger every turn because it says when he drops below 50% health.
Not if he is.
Right. So the basic used to be every turn if he was below 50% health, he was getting offense up.
Right. Now that they still have that in a way. They just replaced it with the
Right. But you're only getting the offense up now the first time he drops below 50%. Now if he gets healed and drops again, he's going to get it back. But if he's but that can be stolen. He can be disrupted. Now Hebrew brought up a very valid point when we were talking about this earlier that could have still been the case for his basic, but the basic goes off. I think my only counter to that is the basic would go off every turn. So
yeah, I understand that.
I feel that in the long run you may have lost damage here. Because the offense up does give you 50% more damage unless you drop the T4 ability mat into it. Because the damage with the damage multiplier only triggers if he's below 50% health.
Yeah.
So that is that's why I'm kind of torn on it, and I do feel that it was more of that some things really got nerfed on it. That sure below the below 50% health, rather than getting the offense up, you are now you're now getting guaranteed damage. So that's nice. But I don't know. I think moving I mean, you do have a chance of doing, what could potentially be 1.75% more damage depending on if it's additive or multiplicative.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I don't know. Having everything locked behind the T4 ability mats really just kind of felt me like a dirty move.
Yeah, I mean, still with the basic though, I think even if you don't have the T4 added, so it still does like 1.4, so it's not too much of a difference between the 1.7. I'm sorry, between the 1.5 and the 1.4. But just for the same reason that you mentioned before, once again, this is something that can't be dispelled at all. So even though he was getting the offense up every time beforehand, he's getting essentially that, but it can't be dispelled. It might be a tiny bit less if you don't have the T4 on it, but overall, it's not the biggest deal. So I think that's pretty much. I would say that's pretty much, in my opinion, that's kind of a net gain overall because you completely lose the ability to have that caught off of you.
Except, I'm just to counter you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Except for the fact that if I have offense up, so let's say Hulk's at like 40% health.
Yeah.
So old Hulk, okay, just talking old Hulk. You used his basic, he got offense up.
Right.
If he was then healed above 50% health, he kept his offense up. So he could use it next turn. He cannot use the bonus damage anymore. Right.
That's a good point. But I still think that would probably be the minority of the time. But regardless, I think it's just, I think that part of it is pretty much the same. Like I would probably put that as at least it being around the same, if not a little bit better, in my opinion. Overall, if you take all things into account of it.
And that's why
the fact that you also get to add on you still have a form of that with the passive as well, I think only makes it, I should say, only solidifies it in my book as a net gain. It's not anything, it's not as much as I would have hoped for, which was kind of my main thing before it. But it's, I think the damage overall in most of the circumstances that you're going to be in with him, it's going to be more than what it would have been.
Yeah, see, I still would have preferred like his basic to be the damage increase is proportional to the loss of health. I think I would prefer to have seen that.
A cool mechanic for him, yeah.
But
it made sense.
I think that overall, look, I like the fact that he got a rework. You know, he's one of the hardest to obtain at 7-star. In fact, it's nearly impossible without, you know, because you can only get it through achievements.
Yeah.
So unless you're like a mega whale and really, really devoted to the game, you're just not getting him to 7-star anytime soon. In fact,
it's actually why I wish that he was a little, I don't know,
a little bit more
better,
right?
Yeah.
But to me, the feeling is, and I've got a 6-star Hulk, and he's only like 175 away from 180 away from being 7-star. I just feel overall that this rework didn't really improve him a lot, and he stayed relatively, you know, within the same range of where he was before.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. I think it made him a solid pick. I'm not gonna lie. I think that I wouldn't have picked him before. I think that he has a place in some comps now, where before he just didn't. So I would say he's solid. He's not overpowered at all, but I don't think he's underpowered either.
Yeah, but see, for me, Hulk should be overpowered. But I'm a Hulk fan, so.
I mean, like, for the sake of balance in the game, I would say that he shouldn't. But I also think that all things should be balanced. I'm basically Thanos, people. But no, I think, like, I also have a problem with Shield being as broken as they were too. I've been saying that I think Shield should be nerfed for a long time as well. Like, I have a problem with creating circumstances where the game will only try to outdo new characters in time, you know, creating that, whatever you call it. Why am I blanking on this whenever I reference it all the time?
League of Legends?
Well, yes, but whenever things are getting more broken and more broken whenever they come out.
Power creep.
Thank you very much. Yes, power creep. So I hate power creep. I hate the concept of it, but that's what makes them money. So I know that they're never going to stop. But I like the way that Hulk is, I guess. But considering power creep is a thing in this game, I think that he should have been probably a little more closer to the OP side, just to make what they did worth it in the climate and context of this game.
And here's the really crappy part about it. I don't think that rework characters are ever going to be that in this game, because there's no reason to buy them.
Yeah, I mean, that's solid, I guess. But I mean, they've done that to characters before. Like, I mean, Vision, whenever he first came out, was pretty underwhelming. And then a while afterwards, whenever he was kind of old news, they buffed him up and made him, you know, fairly broken character synergistically.
That's fair. So here's a question for you. Who do you run with Hulk? What would be your team comp with Hulk? Your strategy.
It would probably be. I haven't really gave it too much thought, but I would say it'd probably be with an Avengers team.
Okay.
Like, I think I've seen Avengers teams do very well. And I think with this new Hulk, I think that he has a solid place on there. I really need to see him in action now, because mine's too low. Like, I need to bump him up. I can't afford the resources to bump him up, but eventually he'll find his spot, and I'll probably see some just through osmosis of, you know, the game. But I want to see how he plays before I do anything, like really try to level him up or anything to make him have a place on my team. But, you know, we'll see. I think he does, like, right off the bat, though. I think he does have a good place in an Avengers team. If they would have made that one change, though, to make his resistance, or I guess two changes, that resistance up, and then allowed him to get multiple counters based on how many Avengers you have, he would be a really dangerous champion, though. Like, I would have loved that.
Yeah, so that would have been very interesting. See, my Hulk is he's only tier 8. He does have 3 red stars on him. Level 56. He's about 21k power.
Right.
But I don't know if I want to throw. See, his basic and see, he's only at 5553 for me, so he's not even maxed out.
Yeah, he's at 12k for me. 3 red stars.
So what? How many stars do you have, or how many shards do you have for him?
See, I haven't upgraded him, but I have 418 right now, and I'm on the 130 tier. So I'm about to be going for my 5th star.
Okay.
With him, and I have 418 shards total.
All right. Yeah, you're not too far behind me, I don't think. I'm at 119 and 300.
Yeah, so I'm somewhere in the 6 range.
Yeah. I would have to agree with you on who to run him with. I mean, if you're not running him with at least one of the Wave 1 Avengers, I'm not sure I would break apart, because let's be honest,
any
you're
super
not
meta team.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, you're not going to use him in Arena. You're probably not going to use him in raids. We're talking like a blitz or a war team.
Yeah.
And I don't see you tearing apart other really good teams in those modes. Like, for example, I'm not tearing apart my Iron Man, Captain America, Vision, Captain Marvel team, right? For a Hulk team. But
yeah,
I could see maybe putting him, because you only need one other Wave 1 Avenger for him. I think putting him on a Thor team
it's just for a counter.
It's just for the counter. But I kind of find it hard to find a good solid spot for Thor anymore. So maybe putting a team.
Thor's underpowered.
I don't think Thor is underpowered. He hits really, really hard. He's just really, really slow.
I think. I don't think he hits like crazy hard. I think he does hit hard, but I don't think he doesn't hit hard enough for how slow he is. That's for sure. And I don't know. He's fairly underwhelming. He doesn't really provide a lot of utility at all, and I don't know, not great. And to Riker, I will not use a Vision if I get 7 red stars.
Yeah, asked and answered.
I might rage quit. I might rage quit if that's my first 7-star. I might rage quit.
that is a valid fear for me. Yep. Because I don't need another host rage quitting the game. But if you do, we need a montage, or not a montage, but we need something for you to go out with, like you did for Irish. Yeah, send off.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I would put him. I mean, obviously, I'd probably use him on a defense squad. I have him on a war defense right now, and I don't remember. It's not the best team on the planet. Let's see. But I do kind of like the comp. Actually, I run him in a brawler team. Why? I have him with Miss Marvel, Black Panther, Gamora, and Wolverine.
Thor?
No, Hulk.
Oh. I feel like you just kind of probably threw that team together.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 208k team.
Mm-hmm.
I think I went more for the character power scare, because it's the first team on my war defense.
I gotcha.
Because my second war defense team is 198k with Drax, Cable, Kree Royal Guard, Quake, and Thor.
Yeah.
So I might move that around a little bit, because I used to have Deadpool with that brawler team.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually moved Deadpool to be with my AIM squad. Ask me why.
Why?
Because Deadpool under an AIM squad is very hard to kill, because he just constantly heals himself, because they're always giving out negative effects to everybody.
Right.
And Deadpool heals himself on whenever he starts a turn with a negative effect. So if he's got 3 or 4 negative effects at the start of his turn because, Scientist Supreme threw out negative effects because she healed, other people throwing out negative effects, he's going to heal for like 20-25% of his health right there.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So that one, I'm hoping that team does not hold it very well, but it does. People are typically going in a little overpowered against it. It's like a 180k team right now, but most typically I see people going in with equal or greater powered teams to combat it. So I figure if my aim team requires a 200k team to kill it, it's doing its job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's 155k. Because
I'm still not sure if it was worth the investment, but yeah. Gotta do what you love.
Gotta do it. Yeah, again, you gotta do what you love. And it was funny for the few months I was doing it. So
yeah, true.
So that's our discussion of the Hulk rework. Heber, was there anything else that you wanted to talk about with that?
No, that pretty much does it. I mean, there wasn't it wasn't a whole character rework, it was just some tweaks. So yeah, I think that pretty much does it.
Okay. Well, we're getting ready to kind of close out the show, but before we do, why don't you give the paying studio audience what they came for and let them know, man, who you farming?
So right now I was farming up my Spider-Verse team because I wanted to get ready for the second round of Wakanda, but now I think I'll probably be holding on to my resources a little bit because I'm going to wait to see what's up with the Wakanda team and how it performs in raids and, see what's going to be coming along with Ult 7, hopefully. And, so I'm just going to kind of just hold on to all my stuff before I make any rash decisions. So, yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Kind of boring. But, yeah, what about you?
I'm working on Shield. Still trying to get them geared up. I've got almost everybody. Huh?
What are they at?
Power-wise as a team? Or just individually like...
No, power-wise as a team.
Power-wise as a team, give me 1 second here. Not store. Let me go into Blitz, change team, join squads. The team I run is currently about 100. They're at 158.5k.
Okay, that's not so bad. I assume Nick Fury has a big chunk of that though, because of the 4 red stars, right?
Yeah, he is the chunk of that. He's at 40k.
Jesus, dude.
Security is at 35k. He's got 3 red stars on him.
Man, I'm like really poor with red stars on my shield team, and it's too bad because they're leveled up very high.
All my shield team have red stars. Let's see. Fury has 4. Security has 3. Hold on. Let me just go to the roster. That makes it a little bit easier to see. Shield. Scroll. So, Fury has 4. Security has 3. Medic and Assault only have 2. But Operative does have 3. I don't use Trooper. He's kind of the odd man out, which is weird because he's the only other one that's close to being 7-star.
Right.
But I use Medic, Assault, Operative, Security, and Fury. I just find that to be the best for me right now.
Right.
So, but the sad part is Operative's only 4 stars. She's about to go to 5. But Medic and Assault are only a 5-star. Although Medic's about to go to 6.
I personally don't use Trooper at all, so.
Yeah. That's what I heard. I heard you take Trooper out. Once you get Assault up, you take Trooper out. Because you don't want that crit. You want that. And I've also thrown a lot of T4 ability mats into Shield, so.
Right, yeah. I mean, it was only ever really used in, whatchamacallit, like PvP modes, rather than in raids. But, I use my shield in raids almost exclusively. So, yeah, that I think Medic and Operative always worked out better there, and Assault, so.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much just working on collecting shards for shield and gearing up shield. They're all about to be tier 10, and then I'll start working on getting them to tier 11.
Yeah, very nice.
That
very
takes
nice.
a lot of gear farming is so horrible.
Yeah, especially as I'm stuck on the auto win screen for like the past 15 minutes or so.
Oh man, that sucks. That sucks. I think the thing I hate about shield is they all use the same pieces. It's all them damn briefcases and all those damn what the hell ever, man. It's just stop.
Yeah, it is a
stop
problem.
using the same pieces. My God.
I mean, leveling up is a pain in the ass, but I gotta say, like, it's beautiful because them all being skilled, they can always be used together for the most part. You know,
Yeah,
that's kind of an amazing thing.
right. So, yeah, they're all skilled. They're all global.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how I was able to finish at gold, the tier 10 of the gold, and they were only like 150, 136. They weren't that high.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was just able to clear that tier 10 of the gold challenge.
Yeah.
And I was just like, awesome. That's awesome. And I cleared the one that gives you a red star ability mat or orbs, the orb challenge. I think I used shield for that one too.
Right.
And those free 225 red star orbs every time, 3 times a week is kind of nice. It's basically a free orb a week.
Yeah.
So, I can't complain about that. So, but that's what I'm working on.
Very cool. Very cool.
Before we head out, Hebrew, is there anything you wanted to tell our listeners?
I suppose just thank you to all the patrons, of course. Really appreciate you guys funding us, and thanks to everyone that showed up live, especially with this odd time. We're sorry about that, but yeah, I know it's weird. We had Easter weekend, which took us away, and then for various reasons, Friday just did not work out. So luckily we were able to fit it in here, and we wanted to do a live show just to kind of make up for it. So yeah, and don't forget to, if you want to play AFK Arena, don't forget to message Dorian or I, or post in our little segment here. We have a little mini channel in our Discord for Ravager, and you can find your way to our main Discord for AFK and join up. And you can also look up some of my videos for AFK if you're interested. And if you want to listen to a review, go to Click or Skip on Podbean. Soon it will be on iTunes and Spotify. And yep, that's about it.
Awesome.
What about you?
I think that's pretty much it. We do want to thank you for listening to the Ravager Report. If you'd like to become a part of our active and interactive community, you can do so at our Discord channel at discord.me/Ravager Report. Please remember that is a URL, not a Discord invite. If you'd like to send us an email, you can email us at theravagerreport@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at RavagerRepo. If you like what you hear and would like to help support our show, you can join our patrons at patreon.com/Ravager Report, where we have subscription levels ranging from $2 all the way up to $20. We do want to send a great big shout out and thank you to all of our patrons and let you know how much we do appreciate your support. Until next week, keep fighting, true believers.